It's an exciting job. It's not a get-rich job, but you gotta love what you're doing, and you do it for the, I guess, the planet and the people and whatnot. And you're actually giving back, and you're promoting. So it's a good feeling. Been here ever since, and I love it.
It was just something that captivated my attention, something I wanted to do. Went to school, and then from forestry, I kind of fell into fire management and how fire management as a whole helps with forest health and growth. With urban firefighting, we define it kind of like it's two things. We have structure firefighters that are mostly in the city. They work to help with actually burning buildings, and then we have the wildland firefighting in more rural communities, doing timber fires, brush fires, that kind of thing.
People moving in from the cities wanting to be in the country. So now that you've got this urban sprawl that's in here now, that you've got colleges, you've got hospitals, subdivisions. Usually what I tell people about the Jones State Forest, if you look at it from the air, it kind of reminds me of Central Park. And that's kind of how we are here. You've got so much around us that you have to be careful, but we have to have controlled burns on the forest itself to maintain that understory. It's also good for the wildlife. We also have on the Jones here, the red cockaded woodpecker. It's an endangered species. The RCW needs a park-like setting, so we have to maintain with cool burns to mitigate that and get it out again.
With any controlled burn or prescribed fire, we start off with an actual briefing. That briefing is conducted by the burn boss, where we look at the weather, we look at the terrain, we look at what kind of size compartment is, as well as what hazards we're doing.
So everybody's kind of on the same page of what we're doing. And the next process is coming out here and actually lighting the fire. Starting the baseline. What we do is we run strips. We run guys through the woods with drip torches, and you have to maintain communications and actual visual on the guy that's in front of you, because you don't want to overpass him, because what you'll do is you'll get him caught in between two fires. In some of these fuels, going back to like the grass fuel that's here, we know that it burns quick and it burns hot. Those are the ones that'll get you, because they run pretty quick. Normally in a thicker, brushy area, your fire sets are a little longer, which normally that's what you want. You want the fire to set in there so it does actually kill the vegetation. The grass, we're just cleaning it up. It's hot enough to where we get a clean, cool burn on it, and we're not worried about everything else. But once you get into start getting into some of that thicker understory, then your tactics kind of change on that, and then your firing techniques kind of change on that.
First thing is communication. We need to make sure we're on the right comms channels, communicating effectively with our ignition bosses, our ignition crews, as well as our holding crews, on how that fire is looking behind us, as well as we're looking above us, seeing what the smoke management is doing. Where is that going? Is it going to go over the road, or is it getting good lift and securely and not smoking out nearby residences? Whereas with structure firefighters, when they're going to a burning building, they have a surplus of water. We don't have that option, so we use a variety of tactics such as bulldozers. We fight fire with fire, using drip torches, smothering out the fire, again using the soil tactics. A lot of things are the mechanical natures, but what some people don't always see, as well as what we're doing with the future. Drones are a large part of our tool system. We're using drones not only as a recon area to look above us to see where the fire is approaching, but we're using also those GIS systems in order to map out and find boundaries, look for any kind of pipelines, power lines that may be hazardous as we're proceeding further into that fire suppression activity.
Like the federal, they can burn thousands of acres in a day because they do it with a helicopter and whatnot, and they don't have the people surrounding them like we do here. After we get through with the burn, that's not the problem. It's the after effects. It's the smoke, the stumps smoldering overnight. We have to make sure that all those smokes are out before we leave. After the burn itself, we all get together, everybody's still here, and we do an after action review. And everybody, it's in a round table, and we go over certain questions that, what did we do? What did we accomplish? Is there anything that we can do better next time? So everybody gets the training, everybody gets to speak up to what happened. Did everything actually work? When we first briefed, did it actually go as planned? It's a learning process. We do that on every burn.